All right, everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to take a deep dive um, into the world of Rhode Island LLCs. Yeah,
LLCs.
Rhode Island LLCs.
Right?
So, if you're out there and you're thinking about starting a business,
Yeah.
um, you got your big idea and you're ready to make it happen in the Ocean State, Rhode Island. Um, we want to make sure that you've got all the legal ducks in a row.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to help us with this, we've actually got some great information from a hypothetical interview
Okay.
with a Rhode Island business attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And this attorney has, worked with a lot of businesses in Rhode Island. So we're going to kind of pick their brain about some of the common questions that come up
Right.
when people are thinking about forming an LLC.
Awesome.
So, by the end of this deep dive, hopefully you'll have a really solid understanding of the basics and, maybe even a few insider tips
Yeah.
to help you get your Rhode Island LLC up and running.
Yeah.
So let's just imagine we're sitting down with this attorney, like we're in their office,
Okay.
and we've got, legal pad out, we've got our pen
Ready to go.
ready to go.
Yeah.
We're ready to absorb all this information. Where would they even start with us?
I think they would definitely start by explaining the basics, kind of level setting, like what even is an LLC? A lot of people think it's just paperwork, but really it's this legal structure that protects your personal assets from liabilities.
Right, like our lawsuits and things.
Exactly. Imagine you're a small business owner in Rhode Island and something goes wrong. Maybe someone gets hurt on your property or there's a dispute with a customer and they decide to sue.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. And with an LLC, your personal house, your car, your savings, that's all shielded.
Yeah.
Big reason why LLCs are so popular, not just in Rhode Island, but everywhere.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's a peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
So besides that, besides protecting yourself like that, what are some of the other, you know, advantages or reasons why somebody might choose to form an LLC? Especially in Rhode Island. Are there any, Rhode Island specific advantages?
So Rhode Island, they love LLCs because they offer a lot of flexibility. You can choose how you want to be taxed. You can be taxed as a partnership or as a corporation, whatever works best for your business structure.
Correct.
And of course, you've got the paperwork. The attorney would walk you through all those forms. The articles of organization, which is what you use to register your LLC with the state.
Oh, okay.
They'd also talk about the Rhode Island operating agreement, which is super important.
Okay, so now let's talk about that for a sec. I've heard that the operating agreement's a big deal, but that you don't actually have to file it with the state. So why is it so important then if you don't even have to, give it to anybody?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's a common misunderstanding that a lot of people have because it's true. Rhode Island doesn't make you file it. But the operating agreement basically outlines the rules of the road for your LLC. It explains how you're going to run things, how you're going to split profits and losses, what happens if one of the members wants to leave, all of that.
Right.
If you don't have it, you're stuck with whatever Rhode Island's default rules are, and those might not be what you want. It's kind of like setting sail without a map, right? You need to know where you're going and how you're going to get there.
Okay, so that's I'm writing this down, big, bold letters.
Yes. Yeah.
Do not skip the operating agreement.
Don't skip it.
Okay, got it. What about, so, a lot of people hear about these, when you're, doing some Google searches about LLCs, you always see these ads.
Oh, yeah.
Or form your LLC for free.
Free, easy.
Right, these services, Inc. Authority. Are those things legit, or is there a catch? What's the real deal with those?
I think it's smart to be cautious anytime you see the word free, right? These services can definitely be helpful. They can make the process much easier, especially if you're not really comfortable with legal paperwork and all that. They often bundle things together like name availability searches, preparing and filing your documents, even getting your EIN, your employer identification number.
Okay.
But it's important to understand what free actually means. Think about it like those free airline tickets, right? You get the seat, but then they hit you with all these extra fees for baggage, for choosing your seat, even for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, you got to read that fine print.
Exactly. So with these LLC services, look closely at what's actually included in that free package. Are there extra fees for things like registered agent services, or maybe if you want to expedite your filing, or even ongoing support?
Okay.
And always make sure that the provider is actually reputable, that they know what they're doing, and that they're compliant with all the laws in Rhode Island.
Right, because even if you use one of those services, you still have to make sure that you're keeping your LLC in good standing, right?
Absolutely.
So what does that mean? What does ongoing compliance even mean in Rhode Island?
So good standing basically means you're following all the rules, you're meeting all your legal obligations to operate in Rhode Island.
Okay.
That means things like filing annual reports with the state, keeping your registered agent information current. That's the person who receives legal documents on behalf of your LLC.
Right.
And really important, maintaining good financial records. If you skip these things, you could face penalties. You could even lose your LLC status. It's not worth the risk.
So it's kind of like you launch the ship, but then you got to make sure that you keep doing all the maintenance to make sure it's seaworthy.
Yeah, I love that analogy. It's about keeping everything running smoothly.
Perfect. So just to wrap up, we've learned a ton about Rhode Island LLCs today. We talked about why they're so popular, how to form one, what to watch out for with those free formation services, and why ongoing compliance is so important. But if you had to leave our listeners with just one final thought, what would it be?
I'd say remember, forming an LLC, it's a legal process. Resources like the Rhode Island Secretary of State's website are really helpful, but sometimes, especially if you have complex questions or a unique situation, talking to a business attorney can be a smart move. It's like having an experienced navigator on board to help you steer clear of any rough waters.
I love that. Okay, great advice. So until next time.
See ya.